Welcome to the Glenn Beck program. Nearly 250 have been reported killed by the rash of storms and tornadoes. My wife and I laid in bed last night. It was about 12:30, and I went to my website, and this video was on there. This is from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And as I'm watching it, it was local TV coverage. And it was one of the most frightening things I had ever seen, and I'm not anywhere near the storm. And I thought, my gosh, if I were there and I was watching this on TV, where would I go? What would I do? Mayor said today, we don't even know how to begin to put things right. Fox News has been covering this all day, and we'll have extended news coming up. But our country is in trouble in so many ways. And this is what I've been saying, that we have to be prepared to help others. In Texas, they've declared a state of an emergency. Rick Perry there has asked the president for help. I believe he's waited now 2 weeks and no response from the president. Quite honestly, good. We can do a better job than the federal government can do. What I would like to ask you, especially if you're in Tuscaloosa, what can we do to help? I don't want to talk to the politicians. I want to hear from the people on the ground. Tell us what you need. And you don't have to be there anywhere. Tell us what you need. There are millions of Americans. Email me at help@glennbeck.com. We have another studio audience tonight, and you're going to love these people because these people are standing up. They've just had enough. Hello, America. Last night, I talked to you about courage. Courage and love are two things that this program is going to focus on here while we are completing our work here at Fox. It is moving me in another direction. We've told you about enlightenment and education and empowerment and entrepreneurship. And really the basis of many of these things really is courage and love. You can't enact any of these if you don't have the courage to ask, does God exist and what's my relationship? It takes courage to say, maybe I don't know the answer. And courage and love to be able to be empowered. Each and every one of us will need profound courage in the coming days, just like they do in Tuscaloosa, just like they do in Texas and all over the country. For the next months and years, I think courage and love, compassion are going to be key words for Americans. Some people already know what this means in their life, others aren't so sure, and I think most have no idea what I'm even talking about. I'm here to tell you, if we keep going in the direction that we're going, it will not last. We have disconnected from each other. We have disconnected from our own responsibilities. And you can call it progressivism or socialism, Marxism, big government, behavioral economics, I love that one, social justice from the pulpit, or environmental justice from another kind of pulpit. You call it whatever you want, but it is not freedom, it is control. How do you get a free people to gladly and eagerly walk into a cage? Well, it's indoctrination. I have been trying to convey to as many people as possible, good intentions or not, our freedoms are decreasing, not increasing. There really are those people who believe that man cannot choose for themselves. They should not choose for themselves. Their choices have to be narrowed down like little children and limited to the good choices. Well, how will we ever know if the spiritual stove is hot if we're not allowed to touch it? You can't regulate your way into prosperity. You cannot mandate your way into peace, legislate your way into happiness, and you certainly can't have someone else making all the decisions and you have your soul saved. Man is not designed like that. He's not designed. He was never designed to be put in a cage. Man was made to be free. But freedom, real freedom, takes courage and compassion. For decades, we have been watching our freedoms and choices fade away, but we've ignored it because we had the big house, or we had the car, we had the cushy job, we had the big future. We're America. Well, we're about to lose all those things. So now what do we have? When will America stand up and say, enough is enough? I want my freedom and my choices back. I don't think that time is far off. Unfortunately, I don't think the time where they close the gate of the cage is far off either. I want to show you, this is a gut-wrenching video. It's from a former Miss USA winner. She's a frequent traveler, and she has been through security lines enough time to know that they're routine, but a recent stop in Dallas was anything but routine. She doesn't like going through those big x-ray machines. I don't like doing it because those pictures are around forever. Trust me. Oh, I'm sorry. Believe the government. They're erased immediately. She's not going through it because, here's a crazy concept, she thinks a giant electronic device shooting radiation out of it might not be real healthy, especially if you're a frequent traveler. So she opts to go through the line and just get the pat down. Well, it doesn't go well. Soon as it's over, she cut the quick video that you're going to see here in a minute, where she said this.
I'm crying because I'm just really, really upset that as an American, I have to go through this, and I do feel violated. I didn't think that I would when I had to opt out of the machine, but I completely feel violated. This woman, she touched my vagina 4 times because she went up my leg, up both legs, from behind, and then turned around and did it in the front. So
this is someone's daughter. This is somebody's wife or girlfriend. When is enough enough? Right before this clip, she said the TSA agent was doing her job, but when is enough enough? Her website with this video quotes Ben Franklin. Those that would give up their liberty for security deserve neither and will lose both. How much more liberty is going to be handed over for the illusion of security? And this means financial security as well. I talked to Alan West today. I'm trying to trick him into running for president. I think he's fantastic. He told me that he thought the mindset of the parties in the United States of America, Republican and Democrat, is breaking down. He said we have to get the people to go out and find the candidates that can be their voice and will stand there and be resilient and vigilant and not willing to sacrifice their honor and integrity and character just to be part of the political machine. He went on to say, they are trying to force you into a certain behavior, and how true it is. Isn't that right? I know, Cass, are you watching tonight? Somebody should nudge you into watching this show, because we're on to you, man, and you're doing a... You were born for this role. Scary, isn't it? I have another story for you. This one's from California. A man from a local church showed up at a DMV office. His pastor said, you know, I've been driving by and here are all these people standing there in the morning, and they're just standing there. Why don't we go and preach a message to them? Now, I know this is scary to a lot of people in California, but he was carrying a Bible when he showed up, and he said, I just want to read from the Bible. His goal was to tell people about the gospel of Jesus Christ. You might find that annoying. You might find that whatever. But really, is this 15 minutes later? Is it worth this? They arrest him, cuff him. He was informed that he was guilty of preaching to a captive audience. The law he apparently broke, impeding an open business, which kills me because they don't seem to have a problem when the unions do that. They show up at banks and shut them down for hours. That's the standard operating procedure now. But this guy cracks open a Bible and he's in cuffs 15 minutes later. I tell you what, next union rally, you make sure you show up with a Bible. They'll have everybody shut down instantly. The officer said this wasn't a violation of free speech. It's just that if he would have gotten a permit, he would have been allowed to protest. Reading the Bible isn't a protest. Quote, we would have granted them a permit to go out and preach. There's a mechanism to be allowed to protest. We don't inhibit people's right to free speech. We just regulate it. Oh my gosh, Cass Sunstein, is that you again? Again, not the police officer's fault. He's doing his job. But look at the choices we are giving ourselves. If you want to speak, you better have a permit. We've allowed ourselves to believe the lie that the limiting of choice, the redistricting of our freedoms, is for our own good. A big reason for that is because we're being told a lie over and over, and that lie is really now sinking into our youth because we, as parents, dropped the ball. Our kids are adrift in a sea of filth and lies. Watch this. This is the latest Superman comic book coming out. It's from the 900th from DC Comics. Here it is. There's Superman. Do you have the pullout? Superman here is, well, the Man of Steel. What's he doing now? He's not fighting for truth, justice, and the American way. No. He's renouncing his citizenship. Quote, "I'm tired of having my actions construed as instruments of U.S. policy. Truth, justice, and the American way is just not enough anymore." You know what he's doing? He told the president that in this issue, and he's going to the UN to tell them, "I'm one of you." When I grew up with Superman, and Spin and Marty and Zorro. I grew up with the worst thing for me, I think, was Gilligan's Island. Look at the messages our kids are getting everywhere. I believe in truth, justice, and the American way, but now it's truth and social justice and not the American way. And the truth part is even questionable. Our kids don't learn anything that we learned. Andy Stern said, "Workers of the world unite." The president says American exceptionalism is the same as French or English exceptionalism. It's not exceptionalism. He doesn't even understand what it means. But they're being taught in school now to become Che. And our merchandising is reinforcing this image of Che. And of course, Hollywood, the media is doing so well to reinforce it as well. Why are we surprised when we see video like this? This is terrifying to me. Tucson, Arizona, school officials had the audacity to call into question a Mexican-American history class because the class may teach the overthrow of the United States government. I've read part of it. It is frightening. They say it also may teach kids to hate white people. I've read it. I don't know how it could be any other way. So how did the students react to that? Well, just like good Che supporters, they chained themselves to the school board member's desk before a meeting, and they went nuts. Watch this. This is incredible. Part of the curriculum calls for abolishing Thanksgiving for a national day of atonement that includes the headline, "Death to the Invader." There is rage in some of these kids' eyes. Now, why wouldn't there be? They are being taught that their future is over because of the evil corporation and the evil United States government with its evil, outdated Constitution. You know the difference between now and the 1960s? The 1960s, these dope-smoking freaks were at least in college. But that's not good enough for Bill Ayers and his buddies. Now they've got to get our children in high school, junior high, and elementary. Our children are not learning anything we learned in our time. Nothing. It doesn't just, you're not an American through osmosis. You must teach them. Do you remember our Founding Fathers Fridays? We didn't even learn those things in school.